because in South Africa there was another type of poaching that traditional healers were doing. They would go into reserves and poach for roots and plants that they cannot find outside in the community because there's been over harvested and there's nothing left on the outside. So now in South Africa there's an actually national forum for traditional healers. So what we have done with the Traditional Healers Forum this side is to empower and capacitate and work with them. And you go this way. And what they've decided to do, which we're going to see today at Vukuzenzele, is they have decided to start a nursery, their own nursery, taking all those plants that they would go and poach or look for in the reserve and now plant them actually in their own nursery or in their communities where they can harvest every time they need them without going in there.
It will become a big tree, this one. So this one, maybe when a woman give birth to a child, and that child is very thin, like it doesn't look normal. Then we use the bugs, we squeeze them, we pound them, then we wash the baby. Put in water and wash the baby. The baby will become like
3D.
And then it will be right.
There is no one mistake. You touch a head.
Yeah, when you use the
You don't touch a head.
the head will go big also. So don't touch when you use that bath to the child. You must not touch the head of the bath. 3 days and then you'll start seeing the child to be like good, looks good.
Out there is a cure for everything. It's there. And you know, one of the biggest problems was the displacement of the Bushmen. And then in modern South Africa, displacement of the African people. One of the things that the Biosphere is always working towards is not putting up bigger fences between people, is to actually try and get the interaction. There are lots of African healers that are in their late years, in their 80s, 90s, that know medicinal cures, but because they were removed into that area at the bottom of the mountain where you might get 30 tree species, they haven't been able to access these plants and trees for over 30, 40 years. The knowledge is going. So, you know, in this Biosphere thing, hopefully that interaction that people can share knowledge of these old plants that they knew, that they now you could, I mean, for us, if a Sangoma had to say to me, if he comes on the farm, could he harvest some plants? My reply would be yes. But I would like to go with you to make sure it's done sustainably and in the correct way.
When we started this project, we were about 80 healers. So we decided to develop a protocol. Then after a protocol, then we developed what we call the code of conduct on how we should do our practice. Because our knowledge has been diminished by a lot of researchers and the scientists who were always coming to individuals and take our knowledge and go with our knowledge away. Then we said, no, let us come together so that maybe at the end of the day we must have something in hand that we can say this is ours.
I think there's issues in that whole thing. I think if I knew a plant that could save millions of people, to impart that knowledge and save those people would be part of my moral duty. I wouldn't, you know, the payment wouldn't be the issue. I mean, you know, I think those are the levels you have to eventually get to. I think traditional healers, it is that they know that medication and their clients will come to them for that reason. So they hold on to their secrets. But when you're looking at major health issues and problems and things that can really help people, I don't know. You've got two bad sides. You've got companies who want to have that plant chemically formulated and own it when it's been used for thousands of years by people, which I think is totally wrong. And then you've got traditional healers, I think, are also wrong by keeping secrets that can help people.
I've grown to have enormous respect for indigenous knowledge systems
And the area in the Vembe Biosphere, the local people have inherited an amazing history of knowledge, which is being lost rapidly, but is still there. And to me, that would be the starting point. And a typical one would be medicinal and aromatic plants. These have been used for centuries. And there are examples such as that of the bioprospecting unit of the CSIR, where they have combined with local communities, traditional healers, to exploit this for a broad-based benefit and made them internationally commercially viable projects.
You find that in most cases, we want to work with them, with the modern, but there is no access and benefit sharing in return. We're not getting nothing at the end of the day. They come and access our knowledge, but in return they give us nothing. Because you know why it is happening? It's because they document, and finally they patent the rights. One will come and do the research thereafter. You see that you get the viable product out of that. You find it useful, then you do the patenting, so that other people must not use it anymore like us. But the knowledge was our knowledge, but because we never document, that's where we lose. So I think there's a big disadvantage for us there. Even if we never document anything, but for us to share the knowledge, because one species can do a lot. One might tell you that this is for diabetic and what, but other healer, through his guidance from his ancestors, can tell you that this also can cure cancer or whatever. One species. So we benefit in that way. Because now if we have got patients, we refer the patients amongst ourselves. You cannot become jack of all trades. You cannot treat all the diseases. But something that you don't know, then you refer to this one can refer to this one can. The Biosphere is helping us a lot, because even now, even to negotiate for the extinct medicine and that we cannot get, Biosphere Reserve is helping us to negotiate with the protected areas and also to monitor the environment. That's why you see us here. We're all environmental monitors. We're also working for the Biosphere Reserve.